Okay, everyone, Classic Genesis here, and Shadows of Evil is out. So obviously, with Shadows of Evil, we've got 4 new characters. And before I talk about them, I just want to talk about really quickly about the older new characters that we had: Misty, Rustman, Marlton, and Stuhlinger. I really like them. The characters themselves were cool, but just thinking back to them compared to these new characters, we didn't really know much actually about them, to be honest. We only knew a little bit about Russman, that he was previously an agent for some sort of like company or corporation, and we knew that I think it was Marlton was in the sort of nuclear reactor thing, and I think that was even maybe a little Easter egg too. But yeah, the previous characters I did like them, but we didn't really know too much about them. But anyway, on to the new characters. Okay, so reading up on this screenshot here, it says Shadows of Evil introduces players to the femme fatale, the magician, the cop, and the boxer. And these are not nice people. Every one of them is a lying, conniving, manipulative, and selfish individual with a long, sordid history of past misdeeds. So they're all bad people. They're all here for a reason. And yeah, let's get right into the first person. So let's talk about the girl, femme fatale, played by the Heather Granham. She belongs in motion pictures, but instead works as a burlesque dancer at the city's most upscale nightclub, where she inevitably attracts the attention of many powerful men, manipulating their weaknesses and desires for her own needs. And honestly, this is, I would say, kind of a little, not stereotypical, but a cliche role that I feel like I've seen this before, where it's kind of like the sexy sort of female character, and she like lures the men in, sex with them, and just takes their money or something. I don't know. I feel her character a little bit cliched right off the bat, but hopefully we'll learn a bit more about her as, time goes on and we get more information. But yeah, let's move on here to the magician, played by Jeff Goldblum. Born into enormous wealth, the magician grew up surrounded by lackeys and psychopaths, and a lifetime of constant praise and attention has only fueled his deeply misplaced arrogance. And when I read the synopsis about this character, I find it very hard to sort of picture it. So he's a magician, and he basically grew up around people that were lower than him. So he grew up in wealth, so of course that would make anybody a little bit more arrogant, but his constant praise and attention only fueled his deeply misplaced arrogance. But looking actually at the character, just looking at the character, I don't feel like I would associate these two traits, like the sort of arrogance and being a magician, with him, because he looks like one of those older, like, wise characters. But if it says he's arrogant, I mean, he must be arrogant, and I'm definitely interested in learning a little bit more about him, because I definitely find his sort of description a bit more interesting than the rest. I'm really interested in knowing what he could have done wrong. Maybe he killed one of his assistants. The magicians always have those pretty female assistants, so maybe he did that. Anyways, next up we have the cop, played by Neil McDough. After years of taking mob bribes and framing innocent men, the cop is a likely suspect in a department-wide corruption investigation, the timing of which couldn't be worse. So basically, this guy's an asshole. Basically every cop ever throws, like the weed on the guy, and oh, you have weed, and I'm sorry, but yeah, he's a cop, so he's corrupted. I wouldn't say really stereotypical or cliched, but I really like his design. Like, he's sort of that mysterious thing. He's got the sort of fedora type of hat thing, the black coat, so he looks pretty cool. Interested in playing as him. And then lastly, we have the boxer, played by Ron Perlman. Besides removing the padding from his gloves, the boxer wore a pair of brass knuckles hidden beneath his hand wraps. He wasn't just looking to win, he was looking to cause damage. So this guy is a fucking killer. He obviously had the freaking brass knuckles under there, and he beat the shit out of people. He killed people by fighting them. Um, so yeah, that's pretty cynical. It's pretty evil. So it's understandable why he would be here in this place, because in the trailer they do kind of say like, I wonder we're here. I wonder why we're here, and they say something like, I think we're here because we're all bad people or something like that. So they definitely seem interesting, and I'm glad that they actually have a backstory that we can sort of dive into, unlike our previous set of newer characters, Misty, Russman, Marlton, and Stuhlinger. We didn't really know too much about them. We knew, I think the only character we really didn't know much about was Misty. We knew Stuhlinger was a part of like the a group called the Flash, and they ate the Flash or whatever, and we knew Russman was the part of the corporation. We knew Marlton. I think all we really knew about Marlton was that he was at Nuketown. He was under the reactor thing or something, or maybe that was Stuhlinger. I think it was Marlton, but I don't think we really ever knew much about Misty. But yeah, I'm happy that we've gotten some insight into these new characters, and they all look decent enough in their own right. So yeah, I hope we learn more, and thanks for watching. Peace.